All right, hey, thank you very much, Mike Perrin at Squaw Valley. Well, now let's shift gears right now. We have Chris Anthony in from CAL FIRE, and he's got some really nice news about the governor of California and some new initiatives that were just signed.
Yeah, no, we were super excited. If there was any doubt about where Governor Newsom stood on issues related to emergency preparedness, community protection, and forest health and resiliency projects, I don't think there's any doubt about his commitment to those things based on some of the announcements, the budget that he proposed, and the news conference that he held last week in Colfax, California.
Nice. What were some of the initiatives that were approved?
Well, you know, looking at new technologies, looking at increasing CAL FIRE's budget to implement those technologies, more money for fuels reduction and forest health projects throughout the state.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, and very important for the Lake Tahoe Basin and surrounding area. So yeah, we're really excited. I mean, we all know how bad things have become, and so certainly this is going to be a priority for us, not only here in Lake Tahoe, but throughout the whole state.
Yeah, they're kind of evolving challenges too, right? It's not just one challenge. It's whether it's a drought or then even after like a winter, now that we're getting all this moisture, those fuels are going to start to grow. So it's kind of an evolving challenge for you.
It is, and so I had an opportunity actually to be in Paradise, California last week, and as I was going through that area, I realized that there was a lot of similarities between areas in South Lake Tahoe and Paradise, just in terms of the number of homes, you know, the trees that surround that area, the fuels that are there. So we certainly are at risk here in Lake Tahoe.
Is it the density of homes and how close they are and proximity of the trees? What is that similarity?
Yeah, I don't know. So I brought a picture in, if we're able to pull it up, and it shows just how dense the housing is and where all those homes. So remember, 18,800 structures destroyed.
That was huge.
86 people killed. We just found out that.
Got it up right now.
Yeah, so each one of those red dots is a home, and if we can go back to that other picture, each one of those red dots is a home, and just like South Lake Tahoe and many communities around here, it's very dense, small lots. Over $16 billion in insured losses there in Paradise, or 16 billion in losses, 12 billion was insured. One of the things that we're doing here in South Lake Tahoe is we are looking at the landscape and trying to pre-attack, plan the landscape.
That's super important too, and it sounds like you have a brochure here. It's kind of like the pre-attack or pre-plan right here, where you're working on evacuation models, what we do, how we do it, and actually the SOP. What are the triggers? Would that be correct? A good analogy?
Yeah. So yeah, this is something that we can hand out to every single first responder that comes into the basin, and we pre-plan the entire South Lake Tahoe area. We actually have a picture of it that we can show, and it's a little bit hard to understand. It makes sense to first responders, but basically that's the airport there in the middle in South Lake Tahoe. That light green is where fuels reduction projects have been completed around the basin, and then we've designated roads in terms of where good access and egress is, along with the communities. And then you see these little red circles, and those are what we call high priority protection areas, like the hospital, schools, where nurseries are, elderly populations, things along those lines. And this helps us know where those risks are, but also helps us to be more successful in attacking that fire.
Yeah, you know, it's super. We were just talking a few minutes ago about what do your teams need in terms of room when your EMS crews are moving in and around the area. And by just looking at that map and this map, you have these condensed zones right here. I was talking, so a couple years back, I worked for, or I volunteered on the Kirkwood Volunteer Fire Department and got to drive Engine 1. Those things are beasts. They need room. So when you're doing this pre-attack plan, you guys are planning out what are the best roadways to get in and out of, how to direct civilian traffic in and out of the zones, and how do we, how can we as a community help support you?
No, absolutely. So the way that we can best be supported is when we issue those voluntary or mandatory evacuations, that people leave those areas, because like you said, the equipment that we're bringing in is big. Yeah. And if we have all lanes of traffic, you know, all clogged up, and we know where those areas are here in South Lake Tahoe, right? When it's snowing, you know, we can see how bad the traffic gets backed up. So so it's really heeding those warnings and also not waiting for that warning. I mean, if there's an area that's potentially threatened, get out of the way. You can always go back if there's no mandatory evacuation order in place.
You know, and that's a great point. And so I should, you know, I'll slap my own hand. During Angora, I think we talked about it. It was Kit Bailey that there was the evacuation. We weren't getting the word though. Quick, you know, it was moving so fast. But when he said, "Hey, Coop, it's time to get out of there," he knew my wife. He worked for Dick Reuter. He worked for my father-in-law. And he's like, "Where's your wife at?" I'm like, "Oh, back at the house." He's like, "You need to get out of here." So heeding those warnings and paying attention. You're not just doing it to doing it. You're doing it in a response. So this plan can work seamlessly to protect the lives, health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. The fewer rescues that we have to do, the better we are and more effective we are at actually suppressing the fire.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, definitely give those guys room on the roadways. Like again, I mean, driving that Engine 1, it's heavy, it's tonnage, it has chains on it, and if you have snow on the roads, please pull over to the side of the road, especially through this next storm system. It's not just this storm, it's all the time. Just pull over to the right and just wait for them to pass, and you might see one engine, and then right behind it you might see the paramedic rig right behind it. Give those guys the leeway to get in and around the town. It's about everybody else, not just ourselves, my friends. Well, hey, Chris, thank you very much for coming in.
Appreciate it.
And you guys all be safe out there. And don't forget, give CAL FIRE a break and support them in every way, shape, or form. We'll be right back.